stellar climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm Reparations, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for Black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the Black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@kbla1580.com. That's advertising at kbla1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got you Black.
I see dead people. What's it on that beat? Aye, Mustard on the beat. Debo, then he rap. He a freak though, man down. Call her Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nella to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass? Trying to see Compton, the industry can hate me. Marlon D. Mama, how many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walk him down whole time, I know he got some him. Pull on him, extort, bully the floor on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs and party at the party
KBLA
now. And Baka got a
Talk 1580.
Certified lover boy, certified fouls.
I'm Dominique DiPrima. It's time to call me. We're not done with this song. It doesn't matter what Steph Curry said. Doesn't matter what this one said. That one said. Maybe it's a West Coast thing, but all are welcome right now. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. Love to hear from you. There's so much going on. I know today is Olympic opening ceremonies. And as I was thinking about the Olympics, I was, doing a little research. It's kind of my job, reading this, reading that. I did not realize that, and I know I'm going to sound really dumb when I say this, but I'm going to admit it because it's the truth. I didn't realize that Russian athletes were banned from this year's Olympics because of the war in Ukraine. I thought it was still the doping scandal because they had been banned prior because of all their, illegal substances used for their athletes. But it's because of the war in Ukraine. I guess I just wasn't tracking it. And there are some Russian athletes who are competing. They are competing as neutral. There were only a very small handful that were approved by the International Olympic Committee to compete without their flag or their teams under the neutral banner. And at the same time, this incredible amount of security has been offered to the Israeli athletes, which of course it makes sense because in 1968, 11 Israeli athletes and coaches were murdered. But here's my beef. It's not with the protection of the Israeli athletes. I think, that's fair. But my issue is this. The Olympics is always supposed to be above politics. And I know it's never all the way above politics. We saw that with Jesse Owens in the Olympics and all of that. But to me, if you're going to start banning countries because of wars, you can't just apply that to Russia. Then Israel should be banned too, because they're also perpetrating a war which doesn't respect the sovereignty of Gaza. I would prefer that we just welcome all athletes and offer great security for any that might be in danger, whether it be athletes from Niger or Israel. Everyone deserves to be safe. No one deserves to be attacked over politics while they're competing in the Olympic Games. Look, I know a lot of progressives don't understand my take on the Olympics, and I'm okay with that. Call me now. Be mad. Let's talk about it. 800-920-1580. I love the Olympic Games. I think it's a chance for international fellowship. I love seeing the incredible human achievement of these athletes and the different cultures and how the countries interact with each other. It's fellowship. It's education for people. Some people don't even know these certain countries exist until they watch it on the Olympics. And I'm not even kidding. I think that's important. I also feel for the athletes. You don't get to be in the Olympics by training every Saturday. They dedicate their entire lives to this. And then for them to be banned or excluded because of the policies of their government doesn't seem right to me. But if the Olympic Committee is going to do that, then they need to do it across the board. They can't just say, okay, we're targeting Russia, but, when Saudi Arabia has aggression against Yemen, that's okay. Or when Israel kills tens of thousands of people in Gaza. I mean, and Hamas doesn't have an Olympic team, right? So don't start that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the people that typically that do have teams at the ready and athletes at the ready. And now those folks, their life's work training for whatever that is, whatever sport that is lost. And guess what? You don't get those years back. 4 years later, you can compete if you're still fit, if you still have the energy and the wherewithal. Not everybody is Simone Biles. Simone Biles, who walked away last Olympics to protect her own mental health, which was very courageous, and is now back at the Olympic Games. It's an incredible comeback story. Coming back into these games at the top of her form, right? She's already won the national championship. She's won competition after competition. She's coming into the Olympics at the top of her form, and she is the oldest gymnast to compete at this level from the United States. I'm not sure if it's in world history. Could be. Gymnastics is hard on the body. Most people are out of it by 25, even younger than that, early 20s. And here's Simone Biles. She's either 27 or 28. I can't remember which. But she's a phenom. Not everybody can do that. Oh, well, I'll just wait 4 years. She's 27. Okay, thanks, Miles. I love watching her. I can watch Simone Biles all day. It's magical. You talk about when your blessings meet your effort, when preparation and talent are functioning simultaneously. Anyway, I will be watching. Love to hear your thoughts on it. 800-920-1580. There's so many things you can weigh in on. The conversation we just had about reparations. I don't understand why Pan-African has to be at odds with lineage. I think there's so many different things going on in that dynamic. One is, a younger generation of activists feeling disrespected and boxed out by elders who are in the Pan-African movement. Davon Love is not necessarily representative of those elders. I think he's a pretty young guy. But that traditionally, the in Cobras and other organizations primarily made up of Pan-Africanists have been around for a while. Many of the lineage organizations are newer. I also think there is a righteous pushback for the kind of vitriol, just meanness and hate that is leveled against Pan-Africanism, mostly online. And to me, a lot of people that are doing that have a sketchy understanding of what that even is. I do think there is a very reactionary vein of folks that are believing that the new Confederates, the MAGA folks, are going to somehow magically, speak about magical thinking, magically support reparations, even though they've shown no signs of doing that. And folks advocating for Trump and claiming to be for reparations. It's very illogical, and also makes me wonder if they are sincere in their quest for reparations. Don't get me wrong. If Trump came along and had signed an somehow ironclad deal, although even then I would, because the guy doesn't pay his contractors, if there was some irrefutable evidence that the Republican Party was going to deliver reparations, real reparations on a local, national, and state level, I'd consider it. But there's no evidence. In fact, there's evidence to the contrary. What the evidence shows is that Republicans are preemptively putting in place legislation to stop reparations once it passes from being implemented. And I'm hoping that these conversations that we're having can start to bring people a little closer together in understanding one another and respecting and supporting the efforts that are being made in many of these camps, all of which are moving us towards success. Okay, we're getting word now that the rail lines in France are being disrupted by what they're calling coordinated sabotage ahead of the opening ceremonies of the Olympic Games. They're calling them malicious acts, including an arson, that they're calling an attack on France. This is according to the French state railway company SNCF. No one has claimed responsibilities for these attacks, but traffic is snarled. Public transportation is snarled. They're asking anyone who can stay home to stay home. The opening ceremonies are going to be taking place on the Seine River, the French river, which was really apparently filled with human waste and has been cleaned up in time for the game. So hopefully this public transportation issue will not slow down that effort. It's just hours away. The Summer Torch Relay finishes and the opening ceremony start in Paris today. So Olympic organizers, according to CNN, are saying that the ceremony is going to go ahead as planned, even though they are facing these attacks and possibly rain. But they're saying, nope, rain or shine, train or no train, rain. We are still going to have our party on the river. This is the first time that the Olympic ceremony hasn't taken place inside of a stadium. They are going to have the Parade of Nations on the water, which has created an incredible security challenge. They're going to have boats carrying all of these athletes, and more than 320,000 people are expected to be there as spectators along the river. They cut down how many people could come because of security considerations, and I'm guessing that is going to be even more, shall we say, justified given this public transportation attack that's taking place right now in France ahead of the games. All right, let's go to Link calling us from Los Angeles. Good morning, Link.
Hey, good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Listen, and I wanted to talk about the Olympics just a little bit, but first, for all the people who think that, it's okay not to vote or, not to participate in the process, just think about the people in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They were minding their own business. Think about these other places where they just came and basically jacked people for their wealth. That could happen again. People, you have to get involved. You have to be involved because the enemy wants what we have, and they don't want to give us anything. Talking about reparations. They want it to be the way it was years ago, the good old days, in some people's opinion. And I just think people need to get serious and pay attention to what's going on. We're being threatened. And I don't want to have this blues over the weekend, but I just think we need to wake up. I've told you that several times. We got to wake up to what's really going on around us.
I agree with you, Link. And one of the things that I'm really encouraged by, speaking of being happy and ready for the weekend, is the way black men have been stepping up to support the vice president's bid for the presidency. It feels good. Like, I'm not running for president. I'm not the vice president, but it feels like a hug to me. You know, whether 40,000+ black men on a call raising $1.5 million just in a spontaneously organized situation. Black men jumping on social media and debunking misinformation and disinformation. And the trolls notwithstanding, this is a widespread reaction. And you look at the polling numbers on CNN, a huge number of black people have jumped from Trump to Harris, just in less than a week. He was at 23% support among black people. I think he's now down to 17. That's a big shift in just a few days. People like, oh, we got a black woman on the ticket. Peace, I'm over here. Now, you know, you got all the people saying, she's not black, or she's not black enough, or this or that, or blah, blah, blah. But you see that in the main, black people and in the main, black men are stepping up. Can you stay with me, Link? I know you wanted to make your point about the Olympics. Can we consider?
Absolutely.
Okay, but thank you guys. Thank you, black men, for the big, fat hug. That's what it feels like. It feels like a big, giant hug. It feels like black men stepping up for black women. And I just love that for us. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580. Tavis is like George and Wheezy. He's moving on up. Last year, Tavis was number 45 on the Talkers magazine list of the 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. Wait for it. Wait for it. The 2024 list was recently released, and Tavis has jumped to number 33 on the list of the nation's most important talkers, making him the highest-ranked African-American on the coveted roster. Congratulations to Tavis Smiley from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580. We've got you black.
We're thrilled to announce that the Dear Future Wifey podcast is now available on the Urban One Podcast Network. This show, hosted by Latiris R. Whitfield, explores the journey of discovering and rediscovering love and relationships. With over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, Dear Future Wifey has become a prototype for discussions about love and relationships. Learn how to rediscover love, heal, and have faith in relationships. Go to urbanonepodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Psst. Hey, I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness. From my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, thank you for doing so. And man, I want to be on the list. Tavis is moving on up, and I'm not even in the building. What the heck? No, but congratulations going out to Tavis Smiley. Hey, I've only been doing talk radio for 20-something years. More than that, huh? Woo! Yeah, a lot more than that. Okay. But I digress. Was talking to Link. Link brought up, get out and vote. We are under attack. Quit playing. It's not funny. Have you met J.D. Vance? Have you checked Project 2025, et cetera, et cetera? But you wanted to say something else. Link, handing you back.
Am I still on?
You're back. Yes.
Okay. Outstanding. Yeah. What are your favorite events? I'm going to tell you mine for the Olympics. I love track and field, obviously.
Yep. Track
boxing,
and field. Yep.
Boxing. The basketball is going to be interesting to see what happens. I think we're up against some a little bit more. The international game has caught up to the Americans, and there's a lot of great stars on some of these teams, and I think we're going to have our hands full. I can do swimming. We're gonna
Look, mine are simple. Track and field, gymnastics, and boxing are my favorite. Those are my favorite. I mean, I'll watch everything. I'll watch. Oh, and is breakdancing? Is that in this year? I think it might be. So I'll definitely be here for that. But I mean, I'll watch anything. Look, I'll watch bobsledding, but it's not the Winter Olympics. I get that, but I'm just saying I'll watch swimming. I'll watch ice dancing. But my favorite track and field, gymnastics, and boxing.
Hey, I have a question for Miles. Can you hear me?
He cannot. He will be right back. So.
Oh my goodness!
I know. They leave me alone. Do you know that? Oh, there's Miles. Link has a question for you, Miles. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Miles, you being an entertainer and a rapper and a world traveler, I have a question for you. Is there anything that Snoop Dogg cannot do? I'm just interested. Snoop Dogg is everywhere.
Look, Snoop Dogg is a worldwide shapeshifter, man. In every single form Snoop Dogg pops in, he's entertaining. He is, but he's genuinely entertaining because he's genuinely himself. He doesn't try to be somebody else.
Yeah,
he's not putting on a suit or a costume to make anybody comfortable. Like, he's Snoop Dogg, and it's a real skill to be that type of person.
What amazes me is how the world bends to him, right?
Yes.
He doesn't change, but they're like, okay, carry the torch. Don't light a blunt on it, but carry the torch. Like, little kids love it. Snoop, I don't know. He asked you, so I don't know why I'm answering. But to me, Snoop,
it's okay.
Snoop wants to be in everything, and I'm not mad at that. I'm trying to figure out a project they could bring to him that he would say no to.
That he can't execute. There's nothing above his scope of talent.
He'll work with Martha Stewart. He'll do a cartoon. He'll do a movie.
Yep.
He'll do the Olympic game. I got to say, his commentating, his color commentary is great. It really is great.
He did I don't know if you saw, he was narrating like the Planet Earth documentary.
I did see that. That was hilarious.
To little kids.
Kids love Snoop.
He ran in the relay.
Yeah.
Took his time when he got there.
Yeah, okay, Unc.
And he can grip walk.
Well, he better be able to see walk.
That's what I'm saying. Like certain people that can do all those kind of things can't authentically get down on the bottom of the world as well. So it's not just how you motivate on the top. It's everything. Like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he may be a little off kilter in the hood. Snoop Dogg's right at home in every single hood, and he's still dropping albums.
Well, not every hood.
I mean, not every hood.
Maybe not every.
You know what? He might be. He got a store in Inglewood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a different hood than his hood. So
yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's beloved.
He's a perfect example of, if given the opportunity, anyone could succead.
Yeah, but not anyone is Snoop. I mean. Like, even other talented people can't do everything he can do. But what amazes me...
Can't do it high either.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And that's a whole other show right there.
Yes, it is. Well, listen, I'm a land. Y'all have a great weekend. God bless, and stay unified, and love your friends and love your family. And thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for calling. So, yes, the solo dance battles of the breakdancing in the Olympics will be taking place August 9th and 10th at La Concorde. I don't know French, but La Concorde in Paris. And athletes will get the first ever Olympic medals in breaking.
It's hard.
Yeah, judges are going to use what they call the trivium system, which was used at the 2018 Youth Olympics in Buenos Aires, which was actually the first breakdancing competition ever to be sanctioned by the Olympic Committee. But these will be the first time they actually get medals for this. It's a digital scoring platform, so the judges can score breakdancers in real time. They'll be judged on their technique, their performance, musicality, creativity, and more. It's an objective sport, is what they're saying. Well, yeah, that's... they're saying it's an objective system. I don't know about, because when you get into judging creativity and musicality, that's an opinion.
I mean, like synchronized swimming and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's, I guess, in the same kind of vein, right?
Yeah, those are artistic pursuits, so it is an opinion. I don't know if it's... oh my gosh. And I'm getting irritated because I'm reading these descriptions of where breakdancing came from. But anyway, they're taking it away from us. I hate to agree with what's his name. But in any case, it will absolutely be in the... will absolutely be in the Olympics this year. And so we'll add that to my list along with track and field, gymnastics, and boxing.
I mean, you know, Team USA, the basketball team, men and women, is going to dominate as well. So you definitely want to catch LeBron before he's out of there, and also catch the WNBA women, get buckets all across the globe.
Here's my problem with the Olympics. I never know when anything is on. I feel like I'm always missing the thing that I wanted to see. Right when I tune in, they just finished the gymnastics, and now we're going... to the horse poop contest or whatever it is.
You gotta just keep it on in your house somewhere.
At all times.
At all times. Just keep in the spare room or in the back studio or something. Yeah. Just keep a TV on that you can get to and record what you need to record.
Keep it on my phone.
Keep it on your phone.
When I'm driving around.
Do you have the Peacock app?
No.
Okay. They haven't advertised with us, so I'm not trying to add for them.
I have the KBLA Talk 1580 app though.
Even better.
What? Call me now. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. It's the endorsement heard around the world. Barack and Michelle Obama endorsing Kamala Harris in the Democratic race for president. The former president and first lady released the video this morning showing Vice President Harris speaking on the phone with both of them. Obama could be heard saying, "Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office." California Governor Gavin Newsom is ordering state agencies to remove homeless camps. This after a Supreme Court ruling allowed cities to enforce bans on sleeping in public. Newsom's ruling only mandates state agencies to remove camps from state property, including roads, libraries, parks, post offices, sidewalks, schools, and playgrounds. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Me and the kids were always messaging. They LOL'd, I ROFL'd, but then I changed phone and the bubbles went green. But where there's a fill, there's a way. And I found a way to share what's in here. I'm tapping my heart.
WhatsApp, the place to safely send messages between different devices. Message privately with everyone.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LA Mayor Karen Bass arrived in Paris Thursday night to participate in today's opening ceremonies for the Summer Olympic Games. Bass is scheduled to join First Lady Jill Biden and several mayors of European cities in the final stages of walking with the Olympic torch. At the final destination, the torch will be lit, signaling that the Games are about to begin. Bass is in Paris to observe the operations of the Summer Olympics, which will be in LA in 2028. The Chicago Bears are making sure former USC quarterback Caleb Williams will be ready for the 2024 season. The number one pick of this year's NFL draft is getting most of the reps in practice with the starting unit. Early reports indicate Williams has been impressive in the first 2 days of practice. The Bears have already named Williams their starter when they played their regular season opener September 8th against Tennessee. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys. Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys. How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys.
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse Limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/TC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
We are, and you're invited in. 800-920-1580. It's a call amnesty day, so if you've called before, call again. If not, I'm going to keep talking. 800-920-1580. They already scrolled past me, but, oh no, M. Robin said she felt the same way about how black men showed up for Kamala Harris. Agreed, absolutely agreed. Black men stepping up for her, super important. It is feeling like a big hug. I feel like one of the reasons I think Trump may drop J.D. Vance is because I feel like he has activated white women, especially younger white women, who are, angry about the not just the childless cat lady comment, but his position that women should stay in domestic violence-laden relationships for the sake of the kids, his desire for a national ban on abortion. And for for me, one of the big reasons is Social Security. His adamant desire to drop Social Security. If we're being honest, most black older adults rely on Social Security to survive and not be on the streets. Trump has indicated a willingness to cut it. J.D. Vance has absolutely said he wants to eliminate Social Security. And to me, if your name is 50 Cent and you think, oh, well, I'm going with my money, I'm going to support Trump, then obviously you don't care about your grandma and your auntie, your great-grandpa, because the people that are dying in the streets, unhoused, a large percentage of those are black people. And way more of those will be in the streets if Social Security is eliminated. It's not just us who rely on it, by the way. Most Americans do not have retirement savings, not because we're stupid or wasteful with our money, but because we don't really make enough to set aside a retirement fund. Heck, if you live in a big city like New York or LA, you might not even have enough to pay your rent. Forget about saving for retirement. So, I mean, I digress, but I want to say it every day. I want to say it every day until after this election. Trump has called for complete immunity of police to be able to kill Sonia Massey or the next man or woman with no consequences. He has stated that that's what he will do. Number one. Number two, J.D. Vance and Trump have both indicated that they want to end Social Security. That is why I call a vote for Trump a vote to defund your grandma, Big Ma. Robert Reed is referring to the conversation about reparations, and he says you may consider certain conversations trolling, but it's clear that there are some conversations that people don't want to have. It should be an easy thing to do to defend your ideas in public discourse. And what we've seen is there are people who don't want to do that. But Robert, consider the fact that some people don't want to do that because they will be attacked, personally attacked. Not their ideas or their policies, but dragged, trolled, doxed online. And honestly, that is one area where I think the critique of the lineage base or ADOS FBA folks is very valid. I've been the subject of those swarmings before, and it's not fun. And for people who have children or are vulnerable in some other way, perhaps they don't carry a weapon or they don't have one in their home, it feels scary and problematic. Yeah, that's you should be able to defend your ideas in public, and hopefully those conversations lead to clearer understanding on all sides and actual progress towards unity and accomplishments, especially in the reparations space. But let's be honest, there is definitely a toxic strain that's going on. But I do think J.D. Vance has activated not just, black people, but white women. And I'm not saying white women are going to abandon Trump in droves, because relying on that voting bloc has been very shaky in the past, but I think a good number will peel off. When Jennifer Aniston starts blasting your behind in public, you have a problem. Because she's not a political operative. She barely ever speaks out. And she is very beloved by a lot of people, specifically the white woman demographic. Now, Beyonce hasn't endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris, but when they let you use your song, not just on stage, but in your commercial, it's creeping pretty close to an endorsement. That activates young voters and others. Paul from LA, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to call in again this week, because I have some updates that I wanted to share with everybody.
Yes, welcome. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. So, because I'm with a group of people that we've been going through Project 2025, and there were certain things in there. You know the saying that if you want to hide things from people, you put it in a book?
Yeah.
But and this is free. So we've had discussion on reparations and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So remember, Donald Trump has openly said if he gets back in office, he wants to pardon those that have been jailed due to what we knew happened on January 6th, right? Which are essentially like the foot soldiers and everything. So there's a part in the actual Project 2025, and I'll be real quick and brief on it. This is page 103, so you can Google it yourself. So they want to reinstate, listen to this, reinstate service members to active duty who were discharged for not receiving the COVID vaccination, restore their appropriate ranks, and here's the cool part, and provide them each back pay. So who do you think were the people on January 6th that were that essentially tried to overthrow the government? Not only are they're going to be pardoned and set free, but they're going to be, quote unquote, given reparations. What happened during the Civil War in the past when the South didn't want to give up their slaves overall? They were compensated with, quote unquote, reparations. Learn history, everybody. It's trying to repeat itself right in your face.
That's interesting. You see that as reparations. I mean, it's certainly a bit of a bribe, right, of some kind. But it is, I mean, I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts on this, Paul. I've said before when we run against Donald Trump that he does this, I know you are, but what am I thing, where whatever he's actually doing, he blames the other person for doing. And I see that in one of the lines of attack on Kamala Harris. Now they're saying that the Democrats switching from Joe Biden to Vice President Kamala Harris is a coup. That's what they're calling it. They are the ones that did an attempted coup on January 6th, but they want to call this a coup, even though how can it be a coup when Democrats do not confirm their nominee for the top of their ticket until their convention? How can it be a coup when she was never when Biden was never officially selected as the nominee?
So I love how you brought that up. It does not surprise me because when people say, well, why does the media a certain way? Look up the Sinclair Group. It will begin to make sense for you. Democrats fall in love. Republicans fall in line. They only know about power and control.
But the Sinclair Group they don't control CNN.
But who's the CEOs of CNN?
They don't control MSNBC. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're nothing. They're certainly a powerful media force of this sort of, I mean, I would venture to say that what they're now calling the Christian nationalist movement. But why do all these other big networks fall in line?
I'm actually happy you brought that up because also it says strengthen protections for chaplains to carry out their ministry according to the tenets of their faith. So for those that don't know what that is, chaplains basically provide religious or spiritual guidance to inmates, patients, prisoners, military members, students, and employees. If you don't go by what they say, go by what they're doing. In a lot of the southern states that they have the supermajority of Republicans in their state legislature, they're already enacting these plans where they're actually seceding some suburban white communities from black, and they're trying to indoctrinate our children. These are things that are in here for a policy that they're trying to implement. So when people wonder why they're riding with Trump, Trump is just a symptom. He's just a distraction. The main concern is the puppeteers around him, much in the same way they did with Reagan in the past. And that's how in the past they were able to get 60% of their goals accomplished because they used Reagan. It's just history repeating itself, Dominique. That's all it is.
Well, I appreciate the call, Paul, and I appreciate you in the chat. You're always dropping breaking news and well-researched information. And like I said, Trump knows he's distancing himself from Project 2025. That's not credible. There are tons of people working on that worked on that project that are in the Heritage Foundation that worked for him, that are his closest and staunchest allies, not to mention the Heritage Foundation itself, the people behind 2025, Project 2025, who have their name on it, have bragged about how many of their recommendations have already been implemented by Trump. To your point about him being not the whole problem, I agree, but he is their charismatic front person who, charismatic to who? I don't know. Charismatic to somebody who has made the implementation of this agenda possible. I do think they're going to continue trying to implement 2025, Project 2025, just as they already are, with or without Trump. But I think it will be harder if we're able to defeat him in 3 months.
Right. I agree with that, Dominique. But let's call it this way. We call it Project 2025, but it's really Project 2024. They're setting up, like, the insurrection hasn't stopped, everyone. They're still implementing it. Why? Because you need to pay attention to the Supreme Court. We have openly 2 justices on the Supreme Court that have gone rogue. They are openly gone rogue, and they refuse to recuse themselves. In Clarence Thomas's last opinion, what he said was, the president is the law. They're telling you right now they're setting up a dictatorship where they are the arm of the law. If you don't want what's going on in Israel right now, what's going on in Russia right now, what's going on in Hungary right now, you're going to notice how those people wish they would have kept their democracy together because they allowed authoritarians to get in power.
Yeah. Allowed or whatever, they didn't notice or they were strong-armed, but whatever the case, we have an opportunity now to take a different route. Paul, thank you for your call. I appreciate you. He called 800-920-1580, and you can do the same. All are invited. We are unapologetically progressive, though. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PATH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PATH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PATH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text LION to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text LION to 42424. That's LION to 42424.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating.
And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Finding a path to a meaningful career, one where you're making an impact and making enough money, it can be tough. There's one path, though, that many young adults are landing on that leads them to careers where they can work outdoors, protect our environment, take on climate change, and get paid while they train. It's the California Conservation Corps. You just have to be 18 through 25 years old to enroll, or a U.S. military veteran through age 29, and you have to be a California resident. That's it. There's no education requirement, no employment history needed. Some Corps members need to finish up high school. Others are college grads. But during their 1 year of service, all CCC Corps members can earn the work experience and certifications needed to become a wildland firefighter, forestry technician, install solar, or build trails in our state parks. Learn how you can enroll at ccc.ca.gov. Do this for you. Become the person you want to be through the California Conservation Corps.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
TGIF time flies on the radio, but you still have enough to get in. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. That is the conversation. They are still raging on the Freedman Fridays topic in the chat about whether infrastructure is the way to go, since it just builds up America in general. That's Robert Reed's point. I think my understanding of what Davon Love was saying is that it's infrastructure owned and controlled by Black people in collectives. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so interested in tracking it. And we'll definitely circle back with him in 2025 and see how that is concretely manifesting. Let's go to Stevie calling us from LA. Good morning.
Yeah, hey, Dominique.
Hey,
I had a comment about this Project 2025.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's nothing really but just an updated version of the old King Alfred's plan.
Is this Jeff?
I mean, you know what the King Alfred's plan is, right?
Is this Jeff?
No, this is Stevie.
Okay, because you sound just like Jeff.
No, no.
That's okay. Well, why don't you explain what the King Alfred's plan is? Because some folks say that's not even a real thing. So we're over in definitely in conspiracy land.
Well, no, it really was a real thing. King Alfred, Rex 84, all the other stuff like that. You have to dig deeper into that to find out that was really
well. I mean, I'm just saying you'll concede that people consider that a conspiracy theory. Do you think the assassination attempt was real?
On
Trump.
I have an opinion on that I'm not going to give on
that
air.
You're not going to share. Do you think there was more than one shooter?
No.
Okay. But you won't give your opinion on that. But you will admit that you believe in the King Alfred's plan was supposed to be this secret.
It was planned from 1951, yeah.
Right, like a CIA conspiracy
to. It was about if there was an insurrection. Now, that insurrection was only if it were minorities or people that are non-white.
The plan to deal with the Black Uprising, but this is from a book.
Right.
I mean, it was from a fictional novel.
Well, no, there were some real aspects of it.
I mean, real aspects or not, the origination is from a fictional novel.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
All right. So, do you believe the election was stolen?
Stolen from who?
From Trump. That Biden? Do you believe Biden won the?
No.
So, how do you decide, Stevie, which ones of these difficult to verify or possible conspiracy theories are the ones you believe in, which ones are the ones you reject?
Well, I usually do a lot of stuff based on facts and on knowledge that I actually do have.
Okay. I say, okay, I'm not trying to be a smart ass. Well, I can't help it. It's who I am. But but I think about what popped into my mind was Amber Rose standing up there at the Republican convention and saying she did her research and she found out Trump wasn't a racist. So it always makes me wonder, like, what does that research consist of?
No. That's lunacy is what that was. That's lunacy.
Okay, so your bottom line, because we're close to the end of the show, we're close to the best of Tavis Smiley. Your bottom line with the King Alfred plan is what? What were you trying to say? You were making a point.
I'm just saying that there are still those folks out there that have this Heritage Foundation and all those groups, and they're all in the same bed.
Okay.
And so, they still have the same old mindset. I guess I could put this thing in a nutshell by saying, Thurgood Marshall said something when he stepped down from Supreme Court. He made a comment. He said that if you can't change them in 60 years, there ain't no changing them.
Okay. Meaning
and
what?
You know what? He's proven to be right.
Well, we're not done yet, Stevie. It's not over yet, at least as far as I can tell. We have at least until November, and possibly even longer than that. It ain't over till it's over, to quote the philosopher Lenny Kravitz.
I'm going to let you know, I used to listen to you, too, when you were on KBLA. So,
don't shout them out, but thank you. Tell a friend. I can't believe how many front page listeners don't know where I am. Do you not look? Are you not on social media? Tell a friend. And thank you for following me and staying with us here on KBLA Talk 1580. It means the world, Stevie.
Okay.
Tavis Smiley's up next. You all know that. The best of Tavis Smiley highlights from the week that's passed. I'll be talking to you all week on social media at KBLA 1580, and I'm well enough rested to keep it going. And also DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Going out the door today with a quote from Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris. She says, "We don't have to let extremists define us." There's a quote for the moment. Wherever you are, I hope that you're part of the solution. Don't forget to tap in tomorrow morning with Black Lives Matter. This is not a drill. That's at 8 a.m. I'm sure there'll be some valuable information about the fight for justice for Sonia Massey and more. I'm Dominique DiPrima. History is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. It's the endorsement heard around the world. Barack and Michelle Obama endorsing Kamala Harris in the Democratic race for president. The former president and first lady released the video this morning showing Vice President Harris speaking on the phone with both of them. Obama could be heard saying, "Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office." California Governor Gavin Newsom is ordering state agencies to remove homeless camps. This after a Supreme Court ruling allowed cities to enforce bans on sleeping in public. Newsom's ruling only mandates state agencies to remove camps from state property, including roads, libraries, parks, post offices, sidewalks, schools, and playgrounds. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Me and the kids were always messaging. They LOL'd, I ROFL'd, but then I changed phone and the bubbles went green. But where there's a fill, there's a way. And I found a way to share what's in here. I'm tapping my heart.
WhatsApp, the place to safely send messages between different devices. Message privately with everyone.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LA Mayor Karen Bass arrived in Paris Thursday night to participate in today's opening ceremonies for the Summer Olympic Games. Bass is scheduled to join First Lady Jill Biden and several mayors of European cities in the final stages of walking with the Olympic torch. At the final destination, the torch will be lit, signaling that the Games are about to begin. Bass is in Paris to observe the operations of the Summer Olympics, which will be in LA in 2028. The Chicago Bears are making sure former USC quarterback Caleb Williams will be ready for the 2024 season. The number one pick of this year's NFL draft is getting most of the reps in practice with the starting unit. Early reports indicate Williams has been impressive in the first 2 days of practice. The Bears have already named Williams their starter when they played their regular season opener September 8th against Tennessee. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tavis is like George and Wheezy. He's moving on up. Last year, Tavis was number 45 on the Talkers Magazine list of the 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. Wait for it. Wait for it. The 2024 list was recently released, and Tavis has jumped to number 33 on the list of the nation's most important talkers, making him the highest-ranked African-American on the coveted roster. Congratulations.